From what we have received, eyewitnesses have described the colonial military, describing themselves as members of the Amazonian Restoration Forces. How do you explain this deceptive tactic? And what actions will you take to prevent such incidents in the future? Or how do we try to avoid that within our community? What framework does your government have to help reduce such schemes from the enemy?
What we need is to educate our people to not fall for the propaganda crap by the La Republican or for the killers' propaganda. If our people don't fall for it and don't do anything stupid against the true liberators in the land, then we shall always prevail. And I know we will. So my hope and faith is in the people of Amazonia. There's nothing we can do except the people decide that we do it. And we will prevail. Because what people call vigilantes, they don't exist. The vigilantes, as as recruiting people from the population to be vigilantes, to like Mbela Moki said, to terrorize the terrorists, that they will not find anybody to recruit from the population. These are actually BIR trained operatives, soldiers who put off their uniform and parade like Moja Moja, and you see all the guys walking around with him. Those are soldiers of La République du Cameroon, terrorist soldiers who will simply put up their uniforms and work in what is called a special operations unit. And then because they now appear in mufti, in civilian attires, they can enter anywhere and operate and come out and put the blame on the Ambazonians as Ambazonian forces. The only way they can recruit is to go to DDR and get some few um, people there that they manipulated and they deceived and took to DDR who are from that area, from a particular area, then bring together the special forces from the BIR, put off their uniforms and send them there, and they say vigilantes. No, when you get vigilante, even their so-called mass recruitment of people, it's not easy for them to get our people to be recruited. So where are they? When they say they want to recruit for people to fight the Amazonians, where do they get them? They don't. They are only. This is just what they do. They buy. They get their soldiers to put off their uniforms, to put on civilian attires, mix them up with some DDR confused individuals who were deceived to surrender, and then they go out there and commit these atrocities. One thing to answer the question, we cannot stop this because you cannot change the enemy. But you can decide how to react to what the enemy does. So we cannot stop it. The only thing we have to do is to tell the truth when it happens, and before it happens. Anytime we have intelligence, to share that information with all, especially with the international community and with our people, so that they are aware. But we cannot stop the enemy because in a war like this, that is the strategy the enemy has chosen. The enemy has simply realized that they cannot win us even in a conventional war. They cannot even crush us as they hope to do maybe some 5 years ago. So right now they have decided to do everything to make their soldiers mimic Amazonian Restoration Forces, go into the population and continue to double down in the massacres with massacres to torment our people, so that our people should be so feel the pain and be so weary of this struggle, and maybe be forced to collaborate with them by fear, because the population has refused to collaborate with their killers. Now the killers have turned around to kill them. And let me tell you that in Yaoundé, when they look at everyone across the Mungo, across Matazem in Amazonia, what all they see is a terrorist. All they see is a terrorist. All we are some privileged terrorists and non-privileged terrorists. All of us are terrorists. So when Belamoki says, let us go and terrorize the terrorists, it actually means let us go to everywhere where there are people where there are still Amazonians around, indicating that there are many terrorists there. So let's go and kill indiscriminately. And look, let me tell you this. If before somebody is a suspect, he must have a motive. What is the motive here? And also he must have a history. What is the history here? When have we, as Amazonian Restoration Forces, gone to a community because of any reason and open fire indiscriminately and kill scores of people for whatever reason? Just name me one. No, that's not our history. That's not how we have operated. Those boys have operated. I give you an example of Mbalangi. Only last 2 years, when that community, a certain CPDM leader there, turned in the general from that area, and the general was arrested and killed. The Amazonian general was arrested and killed by that community. That is heinous. That was terrible. It was expected that when Amazonian Restoration Forces came to that village, they were going to wipe down everybody, right? Wipe out everybody to teach them a lesson, right? But go back to your internet, your history, you will see that is not what our Amazonian Restoration Forces did. Even in the height of their disappointment with that community, they came to that village, arrested members of that village. They were looking for the ringleader who mobilized the village against their person. They took that one captive, took the villagers, put them on camera, caused them to renounce their stance against the struggle, and let them go. I mean, the village that killed their general, they let them go. Let anyone go and investigate and tell me that that was not the case. Then which other example can you show me when our Amazonian Restoration Forces went to any village for whatever reason, in the cover of night, took a gun and started shooting everybody indiscriminately? And you go, okay, when did we do that? And what do you think is the motive? The only motive here is not to win the struggle, is to turn the people against the struggle. And who has that motive? It's not Amazonian Restoration Forces. It's not the Amazonian government. It is the La République du Cameroon CPDM operatives who think that if they carry out such collective punishment, such heinous acts against the people, the people can easily be influenced and manipulated to turn against the struggle. That's the motive. They can pay for that. The Republic of Cameroon is willing, and they are paying for that to be done. But we don't have any reason, even when we need to correct our population, we don't have any reason to carry out acts that turn a population against us. That motive is not there with us. So you can see what CPDM contractors are doing. These are the war contractors. This is what war contractors will do for La République du Cameroon, because they cannot win the war, the real war that is before us, before them. The real resistance we are putting up against them. They are beaten down. They are completely defeated. They cannot win us at that front. So they are hoping against hope to do whatever they can to turn the unsuspecting population against us, forgetting that the population is not different from those who are fighting. And if those who are fighting are from among the population, how can they take a gun and kill people indiscriminately without thinking that our own relatives might be there? My brother, my sister can be there. My friend can be there. My classmate, my pastor, my teacher, the other person might be there. The only people who don't think who can kill indiscriminately and don't care about who can be there among the crowd are people who see all of us as the same. But our fighters don't see our fighters they know that that is our family. That is their family. That's even they are accusing them that they're even giving them food and helping them. These are not the people who will come in the cover of night and kill everybody, irrespective of who is hit by the bullet. The only people who do that are people who have a collective hatred for us. And our Ambazonia Restoration Forces don't have collective hatred for their own people. No, the only people who do that are the people, the Betty Bulu paid killers in bills in civilian attire, who look at all of us as the same and are ready to kill us in one brush.
Thank you very much for that elaborate response.